Sometimes Joe and I read in tandem, like he reads a poem, and I read a poem, and we go back and forth. But we didn't prepare for this, we didn't do that. But anyway, oh well. Okay, here's a new poem. This is about sex. However, it is it's not even PG, I don't think.
He looks at it. It's okay.
But it's about sex. Sex is, and I know you've always wanted to know what sex is. Sex is what teaches you to say things you don't mean. The poem's only 4 lines long. Sex is what teaches you to mean things you don't know how to say. Okay. Sex gives you the sounds for the saying things. Sex gives you the sounds for the things there are no words for. Last line. Sex gives you the words you've never taken out of your pants before. And this is just a little rectangular poem. See, it's up here.
Prose poem.
It's a prose poem, and this is just a little rectangular poem. Please do not place a book or other heavy object over it because it will go blind. Please do not lean on the left edge because you will forget where it begins. And do not make notes on it because they will be absorbed into the poem, confusing it. Please refrain from blocking the light and be careful wiping away any dust that might fall here. If you are making a pornographic movie and need to hide your identity, you may tape this poem over your eyes before facing the audience. However, if this poem finds you undressed in an unprofessional setting, you may place your hand over its eyes. But please realize it's too late. It remembers you and has fallen in love with your modesty. Right. These are all fairly new things, so I'm having fun. If I was born a century before I was born. This went into a series of poems about what if. If I was born a century before I was born, my father would just now be born. And I would take care of him. I would show which battles to avoid. The shot in the back of the theater. Where to watch the leaves of grass grow, the lilacs last in the dooryard. I would take up his small hand, lead him out of Dunkirk, out of Montezuma, endlessly rocking, quickening with peace and with the gardens amid the crosses, row on row. I would tell him uncanny masses in guitar Latin, bring his wife out of the pages of our youth. Again, wipe the cigarettes from the radio, and from their breath, their silence, ring Kent State, Port Huron, Selma. Just the essence sprinkled in time, in headlines, and the shoes of truth piled at the mosque, the synagogue, drowsing their easy sleep. I would watch. I will point out, I will guide them in all their labored automobiles, quinoa, arugula, hard drive, tomatoes, so help me. Beautiful. Okay, this is how it should end. An old man is reported dead, and the cops seize 4 unmarked vials of white powder hidden in his sock drawer. These are portions of the ashes of his last friends, unspread because the old man is 97, and the last of them too frail to visit their wilderness ashes spreading place in many years. The police sniff the ashes, taste them, classify them as a degraded narcotic or a hoarded medication. At the police station, the cops feel an unusual impulse to hug goodbye. The files are forgotten on the back seat of the police cruiser from where they are stolen that night and peddled on the streets for $200 per gram. The crime rate in that neighborhood exhibits an unusual downturn lasting several years. This is called heterosexual middle-aged male. I lie down with you. I feel my beard crush into your beard. I remember my hand scrubbing my 14-year-old face, urging the whiskers to grow. And the ancient prickle of my father's rough embrace half a life before that, fading, coming back now. I finger the lumps on your balding head, and you feel me. Every move is a question. Our hair has retreated. Our stomachs have moved softly out into the world and met there. When you rise and walk to your shoes, I see the wear, the used look. You draped from your frame like towels. I think of you as old, full flowers hanging from a fire escape in an alley above a stage door where some trim young guys would see us hugging and imagine the AIDS virus boiling off of us like flies. Because I have not stood up, you come back, drop to one knee, then next, spread a little, sway a little in your weight, and fall on me with a growl that says we are wrestling, but we are not. And this is my inner fish. My inner fish. It is important that you get to know this fish, even though, according to Pliny the Elder, it is only half me. Though I wouldn't try to fish for my fish. If you do, I will marry you. If you are a child, do not jump in and try to catch it barehanded. If you do, I will adopt you, for my fish will demand it. If you have an issue with me, take it up with my fish. My fish has power of attorney for anything pertaining to the afterlife. At the pace of a wish, so swims my fish. All hooks float right through it, their barbed hopes waning. Don't even think about complaining or promising catch and release. My fish has kin in the wet soup police. And never consider a net or a bomb. My fish has memorized the 23rd Psalm. And though my fish has no tail or fins, the afterlife begins when it says it begins. This is when you hear someone crying. When you hear someone crying, you must drop everything and go to them. And if you're like me, you will worry that you are intruding. You will worry that everything between you and the person crying is about to change. You will want to confirm that the idea that the crime is unfounded. You will think of the idea of what it means to feel sorry for yourself. You will be conscious of wanting to appear serious. You will feel you have only a tenuous control over your face. Your voice may come out as a whisper, as if you are crying also. Your lips may involuntarily purse. Anything you say will likely be taken wrong. Whatever you hear will never be taken back, though you believe it must. If you touch, you will feel the body's upwelling, and you will see a grimace in the upper lip. Maybe you are aware of always having a choice to cry or not. Or maybe you are one of the lucky ones who are simply overcome. There was a time I could not cry unless I believed someone would hear me. My head on my aunt's huge soft lap, my fists crumpling her damp skirt, her hand stroking the back of my neck. There was a time I could not cry unless I was alone. The words I said to myself while crying caught fire and rolled like wadded paper ash across my throat. There was a time when I knew crying is a language trying to be born. And when we know enough of it, it will be the way to peace.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll end with this. I have something to say to you. I have something to say to all of you. I have defined you. I have categorized you. In terms of the things about me I have not told you. Don't wait. Go ahead and know I am pleased with this look I am getting from you now. And I am pleased with the look I am giving you in return, which I give you regardless of the fact that it comes from the incomplete me. I have no choice. You see, I don't know where to end, though I find my place in you to begin. Thank you.